Welcome back to Unapologetically Athletic, the show where we dive into the powerful stories, struggles, and successes of women in sports on both a collegiate and elite level. I'm your host, Kate Dahlhauser, and in today's episode, we're discussing one of the most physically demanding and emotionally complex sports out there, women's gymnastics. I'm joined by guest Maggie Nichols. Maggie is a former elite gymnast with Team USA, an NCAA champion at the University of Oklahoma, as well as a key figure in the Athlete Aid documentary. Welcome, Maggie. Thank you for being on. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and be on the podcast.
Well, what's your path to gymnastics? How did it start? I saw you started doing gymnastics in 2000.
Yeah, I was 3 years old when I started. My parents put me in it because I was a crazy kid. I had three older brothers, so I was always wanting to do what they were doing. I was climbing out of my crib, climbing over the fence before I could even walk. So they were like, we need to put her in a sport where she can do all this crazy stuff and be in a safe environment. So they put me in gymnastics. And I loved it from the minute that I started and kind of went through the levels pretty quickly. It's always been my passion since I started at the age of 3, and it's brought me some great opportunities. And I look back at my career and just had so many great opportunities and memories that it was just amazing.
What are some of your favorite memories from being a competitive gymnast?
So many memories. My elite career was a good one. Winning a world championship and being able to travel the world was a great opportunity, great memories. Also, my NCAA career was probably the best time of my life, being able to win a couple national titles with my team. I think just all the people that I met along the way, my teammates and coaches, those are the memories that I'll carry with me forever.
I was looking at your achievements. Oh my goodness. You are the most decorated gymnast in Oklahoma program history. Two-time Big 12 Gymnast of the Year, two-time Big 12 Female Athlete of the Year, a two-time NCAA team champion, and a three-time Big 12 team champion with 6 individual national championships and awards on top of that. I mean, that is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, it was such a great experience. And the accolades are amazing, but it's the connections with my coaches and teammates that I made along the way that mean the most. It's cool to say that I won all of that, and it wouldn't have been able to do it without like my coaches and teammates. I had a great collegiate career. It was amazing.
You're from Minnesota, I believe.
Yes.
What was going from Minnesota, being an elite athlete with Team USA, and then a hopeful for the 2016 Rio Olympics, but an injury? What was that journey from Team USA elite gymnast to Oklahoma?
It was a great transition. Obviously, I was on the USA national team for 5 years, and being on the national team, it's pretty grueling. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of training, a lot of hours in the gym, a lot of traveling, great opportunities. But going to the University of Oklahoma after not making that Olympic team was probably the best decision for me. Again, I had the best experience at the University of Oklahoma, so I kind of had an easier transition gymnastically because of my coaches and just being a part of a team. When you're on the elite team, it's more individualized. I know you go to like world championships and try to win that world team title together, but when you go to the University of Oklahoma or any D1 or any college for gymnastics, it's more team oriented. You're doing every routine for your team, trying to win every competition as a team. I really thrived under that, and I wanted to do my best for my coaches, my university, and my teammates. That's when I did my best gymnastics, and I had the greatest opportunity to be able to be an elite gymnast, but also be a collegiate gymnast as well. It was amazing.
What was the differences in the team dynamic or even the locker room dynamic compared from Team USA to collegiate Oklahoma women's gymnastics?
It's a lot different. I think elite gymnastics is a little bit more, I don't know. It's just different atmospheres. When I went to the University of Oklahoma, in the locker room, we have music playing, we're all dancing, we're all coming together as a team and just having a lot of fun. There's a lot of cheering and a lot of, just camaraderie, which I loved. It was so fun. The elite world is a little bit different. It's a little bit more collegiately is serious as well, but elite gymnastics is very focused and serious and things like that. But I enjoyed both realms and was able to experience both. So I was happy I was able to do that. But I had so much fun at the University of Oklahoma, and my teammates and coaches were amazing. Just had the best experience overall.
What was your relationship like with Coach KJ Kindler? She's been at OU for a while, and she's seen some great gymnasts and formed some relationships with them.
Mhm.
What has your relationship been like with her?
She is just the best. She's pretty much all of our second moms. We went to OU. There's so many things I would love to say about KJ, but she has helped me in so many areas of my life, not only in gymnastics, but in all other areas of my life too. She just really wants the best for you in all areas, whether it's gymnastics, in school, family. She'll help you out with anything and just is always a shoulder to lean on, someone you can talk to for advice. She really is the best, and she's the best coach as well, I think, in the nation. I know I'm biased, but I think she's just so incredible. And she's been in Oklahoma for a very long time, but I wish more people talked about this, but all the coaches, the coaching staff, KJ, Lou, and Tom, and our trainer Jen have been there for so long. And I wish that people talked about that more because it's pretty special and it's really a family oriented program, which is really special to be a part of.
Yeah, athletes that I've talked with in the past, they've absolutely loved when the coaches make it a family. I have been curious about since last season, you have the second most perfect tens on beam in program. And last season, Reagan Smith tied your record at the meet where you were signing your book Unstoppable. What were your thoughts when you saw that happen?
It was really ironic that that was the meet that I was signing autographs for my book, but it was really cool to see. It's so amazing to be an alumni now and watch this program continuously be so successful and watch these girls that are younger than me do so well. So watching her break that record was really, really cool, but it's just amazing to watch this program continue to thrive and continue to make new records and make new amazing accomplishments.
On Saturday, they just added their seventh national championship. Their first one was in 2014, and you
Mm.
were there for their 2017 and 2019 win. And
Yes, correct.
what was that like being on the national championship winning team like that?
It's even hard to put into words just how amazing it feels. You work the whole season together, preseason, the early morning workouts through the whole season, the ups and the downs of the season. To come out on top at the end is just an incredible feeling. It's pretty much a dream come true. I really just don't even have words to explain it. So to be able to experience that twice was amazing. I wish I could relive those memories over and over and over again because they're so incredible. But it's really fun to again be an alumni. And I was at the meet last weekend and watched them win that seventh title. So I get just as excited. It's so fun to watch this program continuously win these titles, win these championships, because you know how much hard work goes into it. And you have such great connections with the coaches and a lot of those girls. It's just amazing to watch. And again, it's like a family. You're cheering on your family, and it's so exciting.
What was the dynamic like with Team USA at such a young age? You were like an early teenager, I believe.
Mhm.
Like a
Yeah.
young age performing and competing at such an elite level. What were
Mhm.
some of the challenges and the stresses that you had to overcome?
A lot of them, but I think my coaches prepped me so well for the high stress and pressure environment. And that was all I knew. So I really just had to do what I had to do. And at a young age, I learned a lot of discipline, how to handle pressure and things like that. But I think competing internationally was a big step in my journey. And it was a lot of pressure. I mean, you're competing for Team USA, you have USA on your leotard, and obviously you're international. So it's a different dynamic. So there was a lot of pressure there, but I love pressure. I usually thrive under pressure. So I learned at a young age that I like that kind of feeling. But again, I was young and traveling without my parents. It was hard, but I'm thankful for it all. I learned a lot at a young age and really shaped me into the person that I am today. And it shaped me into the gymnast that I was.
How scary was that at first?
I was so excited. I was over the moon because at a young age, that was like my goal. So when I finally achieved it, I was so excited and ready to take it on. But traveling without my parents was not really a new thing for me because my club gym, we traveled together as a team and our parents traveled separately. So I was kind of used to it at a young age. So I really just didn't know. But
Yeah. How would you describe your greatest moment on Team USA?
my greatest moment, oh gosh, that would probably be when we won the world championship. Probably because it took a lot to get there. I had a lot of setbacks before that and injuries and disappointment. Finally making it to world championships and training in Scotland for weeks, finally hitting that last routine on floor and us winning was truly the best feeling and so much relief and just excitement and fun. Probably the best moment of my elite career for sure.
What was your favorite event to compete in?
Probably bars and beam. were my favorite to train. And then to compete, I always say floor because it's fun to be able to show off your personality and interact with the judges and the crowd and things like that. I like all of the events, but to train probably bars and beam because I could learn like the most skills on those two and I just had a lot of fun with those ones. But floor for competing just because I can show off my personality and interact with people.
Last season, I interviewed Soraya Hawthorne, and she said that she loved floor too, that it was her favorite.
She was
And
so good.
floor looks so much fun, but I would be so nervous. I feel like I'd be so scared, but I think I would be more nervous on the balance beam. It's so small, so
Yeah, that was definitely the one I probably got the most nervous on just because you have to be so precise and there's really not a lot of room for error. So that one was pretty nerve-wracking.
with mental challenges, gymnastics is a very mentally demanding sport as much as it is physically. We saw with Simone Biles in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, her getting the twisties. What were some of the things that helped you with those kind of like mental blocks to get out of it?
I really worked on that from a young age. My coaches helped me a lot with that. So I thankfully never went through a mental block or like anything like that, which I was very, very fortunate for because that can be very scary. It can be very dangerous. Simone in the Olympics hitting the twisties, that can be incredibly dangerous and scary as well. So I'm thankful I never went through that, but I went through a lot of other like mental barriers, obviously the pressure of competing on a high stage and things like that. But I always just reminded myself to trust my training. I've done the work in the gym. I've done so much and I can do this. Just trust my body, trust my mind, and also trust my coaches because they put me in a position where I'm going to be my most successful. So just trusting my training and just trusting myself because I've put in the work.
When you had that big injury that prevented you from being able to get to the Rio Olympics, what was going through that injury and that whole process like?
Yeah, that was pretty tough. So I hurt my knee a couple months before Olympic trials, and I was kind of like at getting up to my peak and on track to make that Olympic team. So when I landed a vault and tore my meniscus, I had to undergo surgery, and obviously that takes a bit to recover from. So it was pretty devastating, honestly. But I worked my butt off in the gym to get back so I can compete at Olympic trials, and it just wasn't in the cards for me, which is totally okay. It led me to Oklahoma and being able to be so successful there. That was definitely hard mentally to overcome that injury. But again, I had that goal of competing at Olympic trials, so I just kept taking it day by day and continuing to give it 100% every single day in the gym.
That's an incredible story, just the perseverance. I know that some injuries will just tank an athlete sometimes and they'll just get in their head and they'll be like, I'm never going to get to where I was before. But I feel like it's important to share stories that you can get injured and you can come back and you can be champion still. You can get so many national championships and come back from an injury that shook your entire career. If
Exactly.
if you had gone to the Rio Olympics, do you think you would have ended up at OU?
I don't know. I think about that often because there wasn't the NIL back then. So if you took any sort of money, you couldn't go compete collegiately. When I was kind of at my peak world championships and things like that, I was kind of considering going pro. Again, I'm thankful in ways not making that Olympic team. It led me to Oklahoma. It led me to something greater than I thought that my journey was going. So it is kind of crazy to look back, but I'm just thankful that I was able to go to the University of Oklahoma. Like I said, I had the best experience here and it was a dream come true. It's a wild story, but sometimes I think that disappointments lead you in a direction that you're supposed to go.
Yeah, God has a path for you. And if there's something that you really wanted, but it doesn't work out, there's something that's even better waiting for you. Something that
Yes,
you
exactly.
didn't even realize was even a possibility. And at OU, it was, I believe, 2018 when you came out and reported the abuse with Larry Nasser. You were at OU. What was that like? Going through that also as a collegiate athlete and coming out as the first one to report that.
Yeah, that was a lot. It kind of took me a while to decide whether or not I wanted to come out publicly or not, but I ultimately decided to because I felt like telling my story, maybe I could help another person with theirs. It was a lot to juggle. Obviously, I had school, I had gymnastics, I had all of that as well. So it was a lot. It took a toll, but KJ was honestly my rock through it all. She helped me and talked me through everything, and my teammates were like my sisters. I'm thankful for that. But again, it was a very tough decision, but ultimately just wanted to help other people and share my story.
After the Athlete A documentary came out in June 2020, a ton of gymnasts took to social media and also shared their experiences, and it just continued. It just really seemed that you opened the door and was like, hey, this is my story. This is what happened. You are also able to share your story as well. And that's one thing that I honestly admire about you is just your advocacy and the support that you have. Like, you went through that and don't want anyone else to go through what you had to go through. And I just think that is also just incredible.
Thank
Your
you.
resiliency as well. Coming off of that, how difficult was it to just decide this is what I need to do? This needs to stop. I need to do what I can to prevent this. How difficult was that to talking to USA Gymnastics and trying to get all of that?
It was really tough. I had a great support system, so I had a lot of people who were helping me along the way, talking to people and helping me report it. But ultimately, I knew what was going on was wrong, and I felt like if it was happening to me, it was happening to other people. So obviously, I wanted to take charge right away and make sure that this wasn't going to happen to anybody else. Ultimately, just doing the right thing and never wanted that to happen to anybody else.
Your book, Unstoppable, is the story of you telling that. Was writing that book a healing process? Was it challenging, or was it a bit of both for you?
I think it was a little bit of both. I wanted to write a book for years, so being able to have that opportunity was incredible. And I wanted people to know my story from when I was young, like through my collegiate career, not just, Athlete A or just the Oklahoma gymnast. I wanted them to know, like all of my stories. It was really cool to be able to share a little bit about my younger years and then my Oklahoma years and just all the details. But obviously, it was hard to resurface some of like the tougher moments. And I just wanted to be an advocate. I wanted to share my story and to educate people on how prevalent it is. I think it was a little bit of healing, a little bit tough as well. I also did the audiobook too, so that was kind of an interesting thing for me. That's usually not my normal, so that was kind of fun, challenging as well, but very rewarding at the same time to be able to share my story.
It's definitely an amazing story, and it's a story that people can relate to as well. And it's a nice story of you're not alone. You're not alone, and there are these resources. I think that's just also a really, really good story. You've started the Maggie Nichols Foundation to help get money for charities that are helping victims heal. What are your hopes for the future of your foundation?
Being able to create my foundation was really rewarding. I have a competition series that I put on every year at a couple different locations around the US. So I kind of wanted to make it more than just gymnastics. So that's when we created the Maggie Nichols Foundation. But again, I just wanted to be an advocate. I wanted to give back and help as many people as I possibly could. Having this foundation is really awesome to be able to donate money to charities that help victims of all types of abuse. And also it allows these young gymnasts to, be educated on it and also give back as well.
Yeah, I was looking at your foundation and I think it's really amazing. Also, next February, you're partnering with LR Productions with the We Are Strong Invitational.
Yes, so that'll be my 5th year doing it with them. So it's my 5th season. Yes, so it's really exciting to have those competitions and be able to make connections with young gymnasts and stuff. So it was a great opportunity.
How did you first start with them with this invitational?
I used to do camps with them, and then they brought the idea to me, and they've been so amazing. They are an incredible team, and they've grown their company and have so many competitions now. They reached out to me and pitched the idea, and of course, that's been a dream of any gymnast to have a competition. So definitely was excited when they came to me with that idea.
I really like that it's to help promote and feature team unity, team bonding, and family togetherness. I saw that on the website, and it sounds It sounds like a lot of fun. Is there a specific age range? What are the requirements for it?
It's really all ages from, I think, 7 or 8 all the way through high school. So I can make connections with so many gymnasts, so many different levels. We just really try to make it a positive environment, everyone supporting everybody, and just make the competition fun and lighthearted and allow them to do their best gymnastics. It's been super fun, super rewarding, and I've been able to make so many incredible connections through it.
Women's gymnastics has really grown in popularity with the women's Olympic team. US women's gymnastics is the most watched Olympic sport in the United States. It's incredible, but it doesn't seem that the media is covering them, women's gymnastics, enough in between meets. What are your hopes for the future of media coverage in women's gymnastics?
I just hope that it continues to grow. I definitely agree with you that they don't promote it as much as they should. And like you said, it's the most watched in the Olympics. I think that says something about how amazing the sport is and how much people actually do enjoy watching it. I hope that they continue to grow it. I don't know if you saw, but the NCAA stream was, I think, the highest it ever was with like 1.5 million viewers. So that was pretty cool to see. So I think we're on the upward rise, which is really exciting to see. But I think that these girls definitely deserve more promotion and more hype before these big competitions because of how amazing the sport is, how hard it is, how difficult. And I just hope that they get the recognition that they all deserve because it is such a beautiful sport.
It definitely is. Growing up, the Olympics, women's gymnastics was my favorite sport to watch. Every time I'd be like, Mom, I want to watch this. I even read like Gabby Douglas's book when I was a kid. I had an American Girl doll with the Team USA leotard.
Oh, that's
I absolutely loved gymnastics when I was a kid, and it's so cool to see the things that you guys can do. Oh my gosh, the physicality that gymnasts have I could never match that.
yes, you could.
Thank you, thank you. It's incredible. What was your favorite skill to compete?
Favorite skill, probably my front aerial on beam or my Ray to pack salto on bars are probably my two favorites. I loved just flipping around and doing all the crazy skills. I wish I could still do it today, but my knees will not allow me to do that. But those are probably my two favorites.
I love that. If you could write a letter to gymnastics, what would you say?
Wow. I would say thank you. Thank you for all the amazing opportunities, all of the amazing lessons that I learned along the way. And thank you for all the amazing connections that you've given me with my teammates and my coaches. I've met some of my lifelong friends and mentors along the way, but just thank you for all of it. The ups, the downs, the injuries, the setbacks, the disappointments, the great accolades, everything has shaped me into the person that I am today. Thank you for it all because it's led me in so many incredible directions and impacted a lot of people's lives. So it's been amazing. Thank you.
That's awesome. It's so nice seeing athletes love their sport and continue to love their sport after college and after they're done with the elite level. There are just so many athletes out there that lost the love of their sport because of coaches that they didn't like or were really hard or rough. And I just love that there are athletes out there that love their sport and will do anything for their sport and promote the sport. And I feel like there needs to be more people like that out here. Be an advocate for other people, be a voice for people that are afraid to speak up. And you have an amazing story, an amazing outlook on everything. And I thank you. Thank you.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I did have a great career and so many great people that supported me. So that's what made it so positive.
I feel like the right support system really can take you a long way. And the right support system is there for you in your challenges and in your successes. And that is the best thing that anyone, an athlete, or even just a person walking down the street, that's one of the best things a person could have in this world is just an amazing support system.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maggie, for being on Unapologetically Athletic.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Unapologetically Athletic. If you would like to read Maggie's book, Unstoppable, or donate to the Maggie Nichols Foundation, The information and links are in the description. Next, we will take a deep dive into the world of dance with guest Allegra Norman, a former world-famous Kilgore Rangerette and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders hopeful. You can listen to this episode and future episodes on Spotify, or if you wish to watch it, click on the link in the description to take you to our YouTube channel. See you next time, and don't forget to be unapologetically athletic.